Different doesn't mean broken. I think our differences they're what make us who we are. And specifically when it comes to disabilities, usually the true healing that we need is more of an internal thing, working through the traumas and the hurts that others have caused us.
Hey, it's Bill from The Morning Cruise, and I want to welcome you to Chosen Conversations. We got to catch up with several cast members and the creator of The Chosen at the recent ChosenCon to chat about their experiences on the show and all about Season 5. Today, we're talking to Jordan Walker Ross. He plays Little James on the show, and his perspective on his disability and how it's been turned into an ability, not just for his character, but for many others as well, was really refreshing. So let's check out this week's Chosen Conversation.
Jordan, thank you for being here with us this morning. Just to kind of tell you who we are, we're Dave, Bill, and Carmen. We're The Morning Cruise. We're a syndicated morning show in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and parts of Tennessee.
Cool.
And this is Bring Your Mom to Work Day.
Awesome.
Because my mom is the biggest Chosen fan in our parts. And I mean, it truly, unrivaled.
Yeah.
When my daughters date guys, very first question is, do they watch The Chosen?
That's so
if
funny.
If they haven't, why not?
Yeah.
So I knew that I'd be written out of the will if I did not bring her with me. So she is here with us today. We surprised her with it.
Oh, that's so sweet.
But we also told her that she had to kick off the interview too. So
that's so cool.
Do you want to share what you want to share?
Yes,
I
please.
love you, little. Can I call you Little James?
Of course, yes.
To me, you're Little James. I love it. But I was diagnosed with MS back in 2009.
Okay.
And you're seeing with Jesus, when you ask about the healing, he was sending you guys out and you were going out with Big James and you were questioning, why me?
Yeah.
And I haven't had my healing. And when he answered and said, there's only certain ones, I trust you with this ailment. And I thought, that touched me so much. It brought me to tears. It was like, oh my gosh, that is just beautiful, because it was like an answered question to me.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought to myself, I never thought of that. The Lord trusts me with this MS, and it's been a blessing. I'm not fussing about it.
Yeah.
But I love that you advocate for the handicap.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Thank you so much. It was a very vulnerable scene, obviously, because it is highlighting my own disabilities, and it felt intimidating going into it. Really? And because as an actor, it was something I always felt the need to hide and to because either I wasn't disabled enough for a specifically disabled character, or I was too disabled for an able-bodied character. So it was like they didn't know what box to put me in the film industry. And then Dallas cast me in this, and it decided to embrace my disability and make it part of my character, which changed everything for me in my career. And while we were shooting that, I went into it. It was really emotional, really cathartic and therapeutic, getting to, kind of act out the same frustrations that everyone deals with at some point and that I've dealt with my whole life. And then I looked over, and one of our crew members, she was a day player, meaning it was like the only day she had worked, so we hadn't previously met. And during our rehearsal, I looked over and she was like sobbing and trying to stay quiet during our rehearsal. And I went over and I was like, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "My son has cerebral palsy." So seeing that scene was really, like, it meant a lot. And right then I was like, okay, I think we have something here.
Yeah.
And we did the scene, and since then, every day I at least have a message or an email or someone come up to me and talk about it. And it's such a gift, because it's I think the relation. I'm sorry for going off on a tangent. I'm so passionate about it.
This is what we want.
But the relationship between faith and healing is such a complicated one, and a lot of people sometimes view it as black and white, where it's like you just have to believe or ask for healing or have enough faith or whatever it is. But then just objectively looking at the world and seeing people that like us having these chronic illnesses or disabilities or things like that, where it's like my grandfather, who passed away about 5 years ago, he had essentially it was a form of Lou Gehrig's disease. And he was the most faithful, kind, patient, loving person I've ever known. And I remember kind of being angry for a while. That it's like, why did Big Daddy is what I called him. And I was like, why did Big Daddy have to get this? Of all people, But then, like you said, the message in the scene of like trusting certain people with certain conditions. And my whole family learned so much from him, watching him and the patience and love he had, even when he was eating with a feeding tube and like couldn't speak because his speech was so slurred and all of these things. He never lost his like who he was. And we learned so much from that, and I try to carry that with me, and that's something I thought of in that scene.
And you do. You play your character beautifully.
So, thank you so much.
Beautifully. I love it. Love it.
We talked about that scene on our show numerous times,
wow.
and truly, Jordan, I think all of us agree that's probably one of the most powerful scenes in the whole series.
Thank you
just
so much.
The way you played that. One more serious question on this. I have a dear friend who just passed away recently. He was born with a disability, and he told me one time in a vulnerable moment, he said, because of my disability, I've never felt like a whole human. I've always felt like 3/4 of a human.
Yeah.
If this were your dear friend, based on what you've learned, and I'm guessing this has kind of solidified some things for you, even just playing the role.
Yeah.
What would you say to him?
You know, I think the thing, I relate to that so much. You know, I felt like so at first I think I would validate the feel like that he's not alone in that feeling, because I for so long felt like I was given this passion for acting and a natural like inclination for it, but then I also felt like I had this curse that would prevent me from ever realizing that. And I was always conflicted. I was, you know, angry that I had been born this way, and then I realized that the reason I felt less than, it wasn't because inherently I was, you know, less than others. It was because of the way other people had made me feel, like the bullies in high school, casting directors that would ask me to like lose the limp for an audition, things like that. And reflecting on that, I was like, no, it's not. That's not me. That's the way other people and their insecurities have lashed out at me and made me feel bad about myself. So I would say that, and I would also just say that I think different doesn't mean broken, and it doesn't mean that, you know, like I think our differences they're what make us who we are, and specifically when it comes to disabilities, that's the only minority group that any of us can join at any moment. Like that we, right. In fact, if we're lucky enough, we're all guaranteed to join it at some point. Like if we live long enough, slowly our backs give out. Like even now, like at 36 years old, my knees are popping. Like their cracks are happening that like normally wouldn't. Like moving my shoulders, and it's like, but it's a gift to be able to live long enough to experience all of that. And I think that I would tell them that, yeah, different is not necessarily broken, and that usually the true healing that we need is more of an internal thing, working through the traumas and the hurts that others have caused us.
We're just special.
Yes, exactly.
How has the interaction been on set with others with regard to what you're saying? Has this opened up eyes of people that you work with every day?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's been so beautiful is that I've never felt like on the show I wear sandals, so my limp is more prominent. Normally I have a lift in my shoe. Just to at first it was more for vanity reasons, where it's like I didn't want people to see my limp, but now I wear it more for like when my legs are uneven, it causes more pain in my hip.
Right,
so
right.
It's more of a health issue. And but filming, I'm in sandals all day, so my legs are uneven, the limp is more prominent. And at first, my first couple days, I was like embarrassed and insecure, and you know, just I didn't want people to see that. And then as I've grown closer to my castmates and the crew, they really are my like siblings now, is what it feels like. And now I feel I can be totally vulnerable with them. I don't ever feel judged or less than. I don't ever feel like they're looking at me in a way like, oh, look at his limp or anything like that. And I also realized, you know, for so long I was reluctant to even say, oh yeah, I'm in the disabled community. I'm a part of that group. For me, I was like, oh no, I'm not disabled. Like I have cerebral palsy or scoliosis. Yeah, and it's like, but now I'm proud of it because I see the beauty. I see other people that have a limp. I had a little girl come up to me. She's about 12 years old. She wants to be an actor. She just got cast as Annie in her school.
Oh, wow.
And she has cerebral palsy and scoliosis, and her right leg is shorter than her left, just like mine. And I saw her come up, and I could see the curve in her spine. I could see her limp, and I was like, this little girl, it's like, I don't see anything wrong with her.
Yep.
There's so much beauty in her, and that was kind of a light bulb moment for me where I was like, maybe, even if it's hard to see it myself sometimes, maybe my friends in the cast and crew were able to see that in me too.
Yeah.
And then I was able to kind of accept that a little bit more.
That's really cool. Well,
yeah.
you said you feel like brother to all these siblings on the cast. I just have to correct you, except for one. Your daddy,
Yes.
Jonathan.
Yes.
You've got to talk about that relationship
Yeah,
you
I will.
guys have.
It's my dad Jonathan. That started in season 1. The second half of season 1, we were shooting. That's kind of when we started all the long walking scenes, and we're always in fields talking. And one of the takes, we were walking, and I was right behind Jonathan. And before they yelled cut, I'm sure there's footage of it somewhere, before they yelled cut, I walked up next to him and held his hand as we were walking, just to kind of like mess with him. And he kind of looked down and like let go. And then I acted sad, so he was like, fine. So he took my hand and kept walking.
That's funny.
And then ever since then, it's morphed into this bit where little James wants Jesus to be his dad, but Jesus is like, no, I'm the son, not the father.
That's
And it's I don't know if you've ever watched The Office, but Michael Scott and Toby, how there's like this irrational, he's like, oh, Toby. That's kind of like with me and Jonathan, where it's like little James pops up and he's like, here he is again. And he'll touch the lepers, but not little James. Where it's like, it's just this bit where when we're shooting, there's so many heavy emotional scenes. It helps having those kinds of like inside jokes and bringing levity to the set, so we're able to kind of breathe and laugh and have fun, so we're not just crying and
all day,
24/7.
But in any cast and crew, it's good to have somebody who is really, really skilled at practical jokes.
Yes.
Like for instance, one time these two sold my house while I was in India on a mission
We
trip.
legit did.
So,
Yes.
I'm guessing, this. You're the one, so I'm a little nervous right now because I don't know if you've planned something for this.
No.
But this, have you been able to pull off some of those on set with your cast members?
I have, yeah. Austin, who's down here somewhere, I've gotten him a lot, mostly because he's very serious and has a very dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
He's very funny, but Austin's one of those people where if you haven't spent a lot of time around him, you're like, I can't tell if you're joking or not. Like, where you kind of have to feel him out. But because of that, he's really fun to kind of mess with because he's very blunt and very serious. Yeah, so I filled his girlfriend actually in their apartment did this whole Instagram thing during Christmas where she just kept putting little Christmas tree decorations all over the house. So Joey, who plays Thomas, and I Venmo'd her I think a couple $100 to buy as many Christmas trees as she could. And she just filled his entire apartment with those. So then our first day on set for the next season, I filled his entire trailer with the Christmas trees again. And then later I filled it with tumbleweeds I found in the desert. I hide in their dressing rooms often and will jump out and scare them. I'm always.
See, you're our kind of people. You're our kind of people. We're the practical jokesters too.
It's my favorite.
Same. And to scare people,
I'm the Jim Halpert of this set.
is my favorite. It's my favorite.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, it's been so nice having you.
Likewise.
Thank you. Very nice to meet you.
It's so lovely meeting you.
Hope you enjoyed this week's Chosen Conversation with Jordan Walker Ross. Hey, on the next episode, we're going to be talking to Austin Reed Alleman, who plays Nathaniel on The Chosen. And if you want to watch any of these episodes or see bonus content from Chosen Con, you can subscribe to the Joy FM's YouTube channel or follow us on social media.